Joining us live right now from Surrey in Canada is Purushottam Goel, President Council Chair of Lakshmi Narayan Temple, the same temple that was defaced by Khalistanis in the month of August, and the threat essentially continues. Sameer Kaushal is also now joining us, senior journalist from Surrey again. Thank you so much for your time. I want to begin by asking, in fact, Purushottam Goel first. There have been threats and there have been actions on the part of Khalistani terrorists. For example, threatening Hindus, defaming temples. You are, of course, the chairman of the Lakshmi Narayan Temple. Talk to us a little about how that threat perception you feel in the context of recent developments has only increased. How safe do you feel in Canada now?
Thank you very much for thank you very much for giving me a chance to explain what is going on in Canada. And in our Hindu temple, Surrey, which is the largest Hindu temple, where Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Stephen Harper, Canadian PM, visited in 2015 April. And that temple has been vandalized by the Khalistanis with the putting up the posters on the wall or jumping on the fence and all, breaching the security and pasting their vandalized posters on the walls, which was promoting violence against Indian High Commissioner and propagating for killing of the High Commissioners and the Consulate Generals of India. And that is our society or community has taken it as a terrorizing event, not only vandalize the premise, but it is basically intimidating and terrorizing the community in an indirect manner. Whatever the law enforcement agencies had been approached, and we had conveyed our point of view that such acts are getting more and more violent. And the law enforcement and government authorities has to take some action. But till today, there's nothing has been
done.
What
about protection? Mr. Lakshmi Narayan, Mr. Purushottam Goel, I want to ask you, what about the protection as far as the Lakshmi Narayan Mandir, the temple there is concerned, given that it's already seen, Khalistanis deface the temple? Is that forthcoming?
The graffiti was done in the other temple, but the posters were pasted on the walls and inside the temples at the midnight. That was in the bigger temple. So whatever I have told that we approached the law enforcement and they have not taken anything at all. Day by day, the Khalistanis' point of view or their actions are getting more wild. I would say that because we feel as a community, they are getting pat on the back because they are not getting checked by law enforcement or government authorities. Because in March, the same thing or even worse thing had happened when High Commissioner of India visited in this area, and there was physical assaults on the general public who attended that function and in front of law enforcement, but they failed to do anything or not even a single charge was laid. That was the that was the worst thing any governing body can do, and to the way the Mr. Prime Minister is saying that this country is with the rule of law, freedom of expression, but everything he acts, it goes right against the values of those point of view which he is telling to the general public.
Okay, there is a worry, in fact, in Canada right now. We'll talk to Sameer Kaushal about it. It's been voiced by many others. There is a threat to Indians, in fact, Indians living in Canada, particularly Hindus living in Canada. Just talk to us, Sameer Kaushal, about whether the government is taking this threat seriously. What is it that the government is planning after those statements on the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, literally throwing allegations or leveling allegations against India for which no proof has been provided just yet?
Thank you so much, Sneha, once again. I mean, this is seems like a whitewash kind of a strategy right now the government is doing, throwing the allegations and not giving any kind of evidence. Even the Canadians are not understanding what is going on. Everybody is asking, where are the evidence? I mean, just a few hours back, the CBC News, which is a government-funded news agency, they just published the article that they have certain, through their sources, they just came to know that Canadian agencies or some allied, the Five Eyes, they intercept some kind of, signal messages or human intelligence where they are claiming that they have they find some kind of connection between the Indian diplomats and, some unknown persons, and they are directly or indirectly, involved in that allegation which brought up by the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. But still, there is no evidence. Nobody is showing any kind of evidence. They are talking about diplomacy. They are talking about non-provocation. They are talking about non-intimidation. But still, on the other hand, where Mr. Prime Minister he gave his bombshell accusation in the House of Commons. On the other hand, the SFJ 6 for Justice group and their legal advisor, Mr. Gurpatwant Singh Pannu, he circulated a video message where he is spreading hatred against Hindus, and I put it on my social media as well, where it is clearly shown that he is categorically, saying or directing to Hindus to go back to India.
Yes.
He's saying that Hindus don't have allegiance in Canadian law and Canadian integrity. So after 4 days, I'm surprised. After 4 days now, our Public Safety Minister, Mr. Dominic LeBlanc, our Federal Minister, Hardeep Singh Nijjar, our Member of Parliament, Hardeep Singh Nijjar, now they just tweeted back, and now they are saying that all the Canadians deserve to feel free in their communities. The circulation of an online hate video targeting Hindu communities, Hindu Canadians run contrary to the values we hold dear as Canadians. There is no place for acts of aggression, hate, intimidation, or incitement of fear.
But what about walking the talk? Sameer Kaushal, it's almost laughable. Had this matter not been so serious, we have this man, spewing venom against Hindus living in Canada. These are Indian Hindus living in Canada. We know that the threat is very real. The government says, you belong to Canada. You are one of us. So do not let anybody feel, anybody in fact should not feel like they don't belong here. But this is just rhetoric. What about walking the talk? How about taking action against this man who's been spewing venom?
See, this question, even I asked this question to Dominic LeBlanc as well, and I don't think whether you're going to reply it or not. But yes, it seems like it is just a eyewash. It is just a eyewash on the whole of that narrative. And they are just sending a mere statement rather than taking action. He's a public safety minister. It is his sole duty to ensure the safety and security of every Canadian. When they are talking about one section of the society and they are making it, they are making a, they're taking a chance on the international stage just to get some domestic interest or domestic, vote bank politics from Canada, and they're using it on an international platform, accusing another sovereign nation with some, alleged what term he is using, the credible allegations. I mean that kind of words Mr. Prime Minister is using without giving any evidence. And on the other side, the Hindus are feeling scared. The Hindus are under threat right now. It's not just only one temple. There are so many temples, those who have been vandalized. And there is a section of society, those fringe elements. They are saying that Hindus are doing this thing to their temples. I mean, not even a single police agency have booked anyone. They are not charging anyone, and they're just mute spectators.
Absolutely, mute spectators. And when will they walk the talk is the big question here, given that the threat for Hindus living in Canada is a very real threat. Hoping to see more action from the part of the Canadian government, the administration, to in fact reassure these Hindus, given that threats have been coming from those like Gurpatwant Pannu. He's in fact issued a video once again saying that Hindus must go back to India. Remains to be seen what action is taken against this man. I'm going to thank you both for joining us this morning. Thank you for your views.